All right, guys. So this is just a heads up for those that are going to be starting their 15-day 375 DDD diet talks. And just so that it makes it easier on you. It's so much better if you can get your packet ready, okay? And this is the 3 days, okay? So I have my 3 days of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? So just getting it ready like this, it just makes your life so much easier. So let me just go ahead and, you're going to have your schedule, but just get it ready like this. So for instance, you're going to have your probiotics, okay, and your rocket tablet, or rocket power, that's the powder one, your multi, your milk thistle, and then your CalMag, and then you're going to have your 4 sulfur, that's your MSM. So that you have that ready. And then of course you're going to have your Active DS Pro, 2 scoops, but you don't have to separate it. I used to do that. And even if you had to take it with you to work or whatever, it's just best to just put it in a container with that scooper than to have it separately. I used to do all that, and if for any reason the Ziploc opens a little bit, and it just makes a whole lot of mess. So I don't want to do that. So anyways, I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's not easy. Okay, so and then this is the lunch for the 3 days. So to give you a look what that looks like. Okay. So the lunch, it's going to have your rocket power. It's going to have your omega-3, the milk thistle, and then again the MSM. And that's your lunch. Okay. And of course, Active DS Pro, 2 scoops. All right. And then your dinner. Your dinner is going to include, okay, your so it's going to include your rocket power, your probiotics. Kind of mimics a little bit the breakfast. So it's going to have your CalMag, your multi, your omega, and then your milk thistle. Okay, and your dinner is not going to have the MSM. Okay, that's how you know that's the dinner. Okay, and the dinner, of course, you also have to. And then in between, you just have to be aware of the active DSD. And although 3 days, I don't think there was any active DSD and A. Okay, so in the 3 days, there is not those. So that concludes the 3 days. Now let's take a look at the 7 days, okay? So 7 days of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so the breakfast for the, wait, is that a breakfast? So the breakfast for 7 days. How you know the breakfast for 7 days is it's going to have 2 rocket power. Okay, so it's going to have the probiotics power, the rocket power. There's 2 of them, And then it's going to have the enzyme complex and the amino acid. It's going to have your multi, CalMag, and then omega-3, and then of course your MSM. Now, the people that are allergic to, or cannot have MSM, the sulfur, then you just replace that with CK Power. Okay, so that's how you'll be able to do that if you're allergic to the sulfur. Okay. And so that's the breakfast for the 7 days. So let's go over what the lunch looks like. And then of course, you got to add in your probiotics. Active Pro, but the protein in the I'm trying to do this with my one hand. Okay, so just let's go over the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then in between there's 5 proteins during the 7 days. So in the lunch, you're gonna have this is actually the 10 o'clock, I'm sorry. So this is the 10 o'clock one. Wait, is that the 10 o'clock one? No, this is the lunch. Okay, so it's going to have the enzyme complex, amino acid, and rocket power with your milk thistle and your MSM. Okay, so that's the lunch. And just remember 10 o'clock, there is a protein, and then 4 o'clock, there's the protein. And that's in between the in between the breakfast and lunch, and then so 10 o'clock. So protein, there's going to be 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock. So that's your protein intake. But the lunch one I just showed you, that one is at 12. Okay, so this is the dinner. That's the 6 o'clock one. 6 o'clock, and it includes, okay, that's going to include your probiotics power, and your amino acid. It's going to have your enzyme complex, the omega-3, CalMag, and then milk thistle. Okay, so that's the 7 days dinner. And then I just talked to you about in between protein. You got to have your separate protein. After your breakfast at 8 o'clock, you have just the protein, Active DS Pro. At 10 o'clock, you have your lunch at 12 with all your vitamins and everything. And then you're going to have another protein at 4 o'clock. That's right before dinner. And then you have your dinner at 6. Okay, so now let's go over the 5-day maintenance. And you just need to prepare for breakfast and dinner for the 5 days, because the lunch you get to have your rice congee, okay, the brown rice congee, the porridge. Okay, so the breakfast, you're going to have your probiotics power, the enzyme complex, and then amino acid. You get your multivitamins, your omega-3, and then CalMag, okay? And then you just need to add your Active DS Pro, 2 scoops. And then I'll show you the dinner. Okay. All right, give me one sec. Okay. And this is what the dinner looks like. Of course, in between active DSD and active DSA, you know, just look at your schedule for that. Those are in between, okay? So this one has the probiotics power, the multivitamin, omega-3, and your CalMag, and then milk thistle. This is what the dinner for your maintenance looks like, okay? And then I'm going to show you, where's the, oh, okay. So this is the rice, you know, this is the nu룽지. This is the brown rice, dried up, you know, the brown rice rice cracker. And you could get these in your, you know, Korean grocery store. So they have, I mean, if you don't have the G-Coop one, you can get the you know, just the regular one, as long as it's a brown rice. That's okay. Okay, so that's what the 375 preparation looks like. Okay, so get it ready, and good luck. All right.